I don't know. Okay, sorry, I was getting a message from the YouTube. Oh, look at that light. One day, I'm going to get to that. One day. Okay, hey, hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Sane Artist. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe. I always forget to say that, so I try to get that in first. And I'm going to get a palette set up because on my Facebook, I do a pick my look every Monday morning. I try every Monday morning. It's kind of hard to find these looks, and I try to get people to, I put 4 options up, and I put it up super early so that people can vote, and it helps me it helps me try new things. It's hard being creative. I'm not creative. So I got my look picked out for today. We did our votes. There was a very, very clear winner. So we're gonna get those looks put together while I wait for people to get on. Last week had a very simple one, and I know that some people love it. Good morning, Desiree. Look at me coming on live, and I was moderately on time. Getting kids to school is not as easy as it seems like it should be. All right, one color. Ooh, I have not used this color. It's going to be interesting. Everest. And then Finn. These are really... It's an interesting little combo here. I do need to get a color for just a base. So we'll do my favorite Paris, because it doesn't even show up. But we're going to talk about makeup. I'm going to do my makeup. I use Saint makeup. I like to talk more. I'm more of a technique talker than I am anything else. So you can losing an eyeshadow. Woo, phew. Whew, you complete me, almost fell. Okay, so here is the look. Thank you. I love that it's sweater weather. Oh, I forgot my coffee, sugar. But I have my eyeshadows here. We have Paris is going to be just my base, which won't really show up. We have Everest, which is a color I don't use very often. This is why I love the Pick My Look. So if you're not part of my Facebook, there's a link in the description. You can shop, you can get matched. I link things that aren't Saint related that are in there that I love, but you can join my Instagram. I'm not on there a ton. This is kind of my home base. And my Facebook, which I'm very active. I post every day on there, sometimes multiple times a day, just giving looks. But I try every Monday to do a Pick My Look. And you guys get to pick the combos. So again, Everest, You Complete Me, and Finn. And then I need to find, it's a discontinued color. Just full disclosure, I think it is Wallflower. We'll find out, because if it's in this palette, it is discontinued. But it was part of the Pick My Look, so if you have it, great. I think it's in the family of the peaches. I think it is. I could be wrong, but I don't know. So, but yes, if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe. We talk about makeup. I do my makeup. Yep. Oh wait, that's Wildflower. I'm trying to find this color here. Sorry, it's going to take me a minute on this one. But if you have questions about Wallflower, it is a discontinued look. So it was limited edition. That is what it is. But if you have it, I don't share a lot of the discontinued colors. I know some people have them, but I try to share the things that are currently available, which is what we're going to do today. All right, I'm going to wait for the weekend. So I have my palettes that I took with me. You get to see me unpack what I took. I took my travel size. I did finally buy a full-size one of that one because I wanted to see. I've been really liking the finish of my makeup. I want to see if it's because of that. And my makeup. So I always travel with 2 palette 2s. Those are available right now. Hold on just a second. Just gotta get some things removed. Okay. But I do always travel with 2 palette 2s. I've got a brow palette. I've got a setting powder palette. There is a palette 2 currently available. These do go away. So if you're in the market for one, you know, go for it. Sorry. All right. I am going to go in and we are going to do some eyes first. I always do my eyes first, especially when I'm working with darker colors, because if the fallout falls into my makeup, it can make my under eyes look darker. It can also make them look a little bit more mature. Full disclosure, I'm 43, so while I'm not as mature as some people would like when I say the word mature, sorry, my chair always falls, but I'm not as mature, but I am changing, and so we talk about that. I talk about that a lot. I'm going to be using my eye primer, and I'm not sure which brushes I'm going to use today. If you have a favorite brush, or if you have a brush you've been wanting to see be used, let me know, because I'm going to be doing my eyes more now, and I'm going to talk about them. And I like keeping an open dialogue on my lives with people, talking about makeup. So if there's techniques that you've been wanting to see, we could talk about that also. But I do like to use my Singen's Shadow Sense. This is a great eyeshadow primer because it keeps your eyes from creasing. All right. Oh, then don't be here, Brooke. There you go. All right. So we're going to take this and we're going to pop it on. And I prefer that when you're putting on any kind of a primer for eyeshadow, using a brush to press it out. The oils of your skin can mix with the formula of the primer, and it can make it just a touch more greasy, which means that it may not, sorry, God, there's a lot of, anyways, we're not going to get into anything, but when you're using a brush to press out a primer, it's going to make it so that it won't crease as quickly. It's makeup, not magic, so creasing is going to happen, and that's it. So we're going to press this out. We're going to play with some colors. I've been using one particular technique. I want to try it. I want to try hybriding two of my techniques together, and one is the gradient look that I like to do because I find it very easy for eyeshadows because it's not so particular about placement. And yeah, so if there's any of my usuals here, I'd love for you to say hi, please. It'd be, I know, it's hard, Shelly. It's hard, and I'm learning that the higher my subscriber goes up, the change in my comments. It used to be I would leave and come back, and my people would come back. But the higher the subscriber gets, the more it is. I can ignore it, but I can also remove them, and that's what I just try to do and move on. Okay. So hi, good morning. I love when my friendlies pop up because it's so nice, but I also love engaging and interacting and giving you my tips because sometimes we go down some really, really amazing rabbit holes here. And I do love my YouTube community of my community members. And so I'm going to get into this. We're going to do a prep. I'm using Paris. It's a light pink. There's some really good colors that are great preps based off of your skin tone, and finding those you can do yourself. We can talk about it. There is a link in my description if you want to talk about makeup. Just click it, click the envelope, and we could talk about a good base. For my skin tone, I like Paris. I also like Cupcake, Pup are really good ones, and Mama is another great one. I like the pink tones right now. It just changes. Okay. I have a skincare routine. So I've used Saint skincare, and I think it's a good skincare for Saint. I always say if you're going to jump into Saint, use the makeup, then try the skincare, because if something goes haywire, you want to know what it is. And that's with any makeup whatsoever. I use Beauty Society. I have a friend that loves that olive tree that's gotten very popular lately. I do have one, and I do believe it's in it is on my YouTube, and it's also in my Facebook group. It does have a lot of steps, but I also think the more mature you get, the more steps come with it too. Okay, let's get in. I'm going to use the eyeshadow brush. Actually, I want to use a bigger brush because I'm doing the gradient hybrid look. Or maybe I should use a smudge brush. Oh, my lipsticks are falling. Okay, we're going to grab a brush here. Stand by, stay with me here. Oh, for goodness sake. I've got too many brushes. Can you believe it? There we go. All right, this is going to be the blur brush. I really like this brush. Okay. Yes, everybody hit the subscribe button. I do say that at the beginning, but that's really for the replay people. Okay, I am going to go in and I am going to hit up You Complete Me. This looks really dark, but when you use a fluffy brush, you can put it on your brow. I just like a bit of peekaboo shimmer, and any color can be multiple colors. This does have a touch of pigment, so it is a bit pink, but that's okay. I'm going to go into a transition color. I'm going to let Everest be my transition color. It's this lighter gray color. And I'm just going to pop this up top. And I always like to preface this with makeup is very personal, and it is also it's very personal. And so if you feel good at the end, if you know how you like your makeup or not like wearing makeup, very personal. I like everybody to feel like their best self. I always feel, and I feel like my best self, I could put my best foot forward with makeup, because makeup isn't for anybody else except ourselves. And so if we feel better with the makeup, then you wear the makeup. And I'm never here to yuck a yum. There's so many different styles of makeup, and each one is beautiful in its own right. And don't yuck people's yum. If you like makeup, you like makeup. I've always loved makeup. I grew up watching my mom do makeup, and it was always one of those things where watching somebody feel good in their skin is so magic. That's when makeup's magic. And also watching somebody do their skincare and feel good in their skin. My sister-in-law doesn't wear makeup, and she's beautiful in her skin, and she feels comfortable in her skin. And I would never, ever, she's asked me to do her makeup, and I've told her, I don't think you need it. And if you want it, I'll always do it. And I have gotten to do her makeup, but she feels like her best self without makeup, and I love that. I feel like my best self with makeup, and I love that too. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna go, so I just put a little bit of Everest. It's just a nice light gray, and I just pop that up. I'm keeping my Everest color high because I want to give the illusion of some lift over here. And then I just always make sure I'm working on the outside of the eye for that lift. Okay, we're gonna go into Fin. Everything with Saint is customizable. You don't have to buy a palette of shadows that you only use 2 or 3 of. Everything is personalized. So my palette isn't your palette. So the way I apply my makeup isn't gonna be for everybody. And she did the car in the rear view driving down the road. You know, I've been in that position. I can't, oh man. See, I've actually driven and done my makeup. Probably not the safest thing. But with Saint Makeup, it is easy because it's foolproof. It's foolproof. It's very easy. You can slap it all on, blend it all out, and it looks great. But my mom was a makeup and the mascara in the mirror. That's the one I could never really do. But being stuck in traffic, grab some makeup. That's when I do my makeup in my car, is when I know I'm gonna be stuck in traffic. All right, we're gonna go into Fin. This is a nice dark color. This is a shimmer. Everest is a soft shimmer. I'm using the short dense end, and we're just gonna go in, and I'm just gonna press this on the mid of my lid, and I'm going to work it out. If you have mature lids, tap this out. Can you do a technique that you've been doing? Okay. Okay, you mix it with the bronzer all over with an illuminator? I'd look like a trophy. I mean, I'm a trophy wife, but what? Send it to me. What bronzer? I have done, I will do that with honey, where I put honey on underneath as a good base. So this looks super scary, and it can close the eye up, and I'm gonna show my little tip. When you're getting into eyeshadow or you feel like you're not good at eyeshadow, I feel like the gradient look is a good place to start. And I do have a tinted moisturizer video. I really struggle with light coverage because I don't like my scarring to show through. It makes me really insecure. But I like pressing this in, and it just basically smash a color all over your lid, and then work it out and up onto that brow bone on the outside. Yes, send it to me on my Instagram. I have underpainted with bronzer, and maybe I will do that today because I don't have a technique lined up for today, and so I can do that. I just can't go watch it on the Instagram. But if it's underpainting with bronzer, 1000% totally can do that. All right, so I have this dark color on. I know it's scary. I'm going to skip the bottom, and I'm just going to clean up some of the fallout here. I love getting a good messy eyeshadow and then cleaning it up. I'm going to use my finger. Yes. See, that's the great thing. This is where makeup's fun. When you try it, you don't like it. I love that you tried it. And if you don't like it, it's makeup, it washes off. That's probably why I'm so scared to get my eyebrows microbladed. I'm gonna take You Complete Me, this nice pink color, on my finger, and I'm gonna go right in the middle as my spotlight color. And I'm just gonna tap this on, and it's gonna lighten things up. And it's gonna open the eye back up. And I like layering it because it kind of takes this pink color and makes it look a little more of a gunmetal pink. It's pretty. Layering colors is fun. Makeup should be fun or we're doing it wrong. This is your you time. This is where it's all about you and what you like. And if you're a wife, a mom, and anybody, if you're a woman, you always feel like you're doing for a lot of people. You don't have to do for anybody here. Makeup is personal to you and what you like. So I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Tattoo Studio pencil. I like it. You can mix, so here's the thing, you can mix any of these creams. You can ribbon them out. We're going to get into those in just a minute. And you can mix them with your moisturizer, and you have a lot of control of the pigment that goes into it. So you can make it, you can use bronzer, you can use your main highlight colors, either one, and you can mix it in with your moisturizer. A lot of people like to do that with their SPF. It does downplay the SPF if you do it that way. So what I would do is, if you're doing that with SPF, put the SPF on and just do a light coverage using a light coverage brush is what I would recommend. But you can totally also do whatever you want because it's your face, and you can mix it with the SPF. I've done it. There is titanium dioxide that does work as a good sunblock, but it doesn't have all the good stuff that keeps your skin youthful and young that SPF has. All right, going in, and I'm going to waterline my under eye here. I find it's easier to look down. This tickles. This can make your eye water at first. You'll get over it, I promise, because I've gotten over it, so that's how I know. Let's see. You just sent it. Okay, I'm not going to be able to see it until after, but okay. But basically, it's like mixing your bronzer and illuminator together to give you a glow. So Xanadu is like that, and Xanadu I think is coming out this week permanently. It will probably sell out, but I am going to try a little bit of this little underpainting with it first. And then I'll make a video of my own version of it. I love taking videos of inspiration and kind of putting my own spin on it and doing it. It's really nice. All right, Stila Sale Day. I finally added it to my link tree. And I didn't do the magic wand one. I did just the one-ended one. I find that I only use one end of it anyways, but it's waterproof. I love the tip on this one. It's so good. And it's a great liquid liner. And I'm going to go on the outer corner of my eye. My goal is to keep my eye looking as open and wide as possible. And doing the gradient look can close the eye up a bit, but we're going to do a couple of tips and tricks to do that. Okay. I'm going to go a quarter of the way in, and I just hold my pen straight out, and I pull out and up just a little bit to add some curvature, but adding depth on your outer corner is going to add lift to your eye. We're just going to press this in and across and then out. And then when you open your eye, you see how it just adds a little notch on top that looks like the eye came up. You just need you can make this wing as big and bold as you want, or tiny and mighty as you want. I prefer tiny and mighty because my outside lid, as you can see, it comes down. If I were to do, there's a wing you can do for hooded eyes. I've tried it and I feel like it looks more of a Halloween look. It looks like a bat wing, and it's just not my preference. So I keep my wing tiny but mighty and within that crease area. And by lifting on it, when my eye folds, it doesn't pull it down. It keeps it up because I come up. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Do you see how I have my outer corner and there's just a tiniest bit of room between my outer corner and my wing? Tiny but mighty, but adding that little gap between the outer corner and the eyeliner will make it so that when my eyes are resting and this pulls down, it's not pulling my eyeliner down. You want it to still work. So again, we go on that outer corner. I'm going to keep it a bit zoomed in. My eyeliner are sisters, not twins, so give grace. But I just pull straight out. And I do this with my head because I need to move this buddy, and it makes my eyelids a little more taut without pulling my eye. And then I just come up just a little bit, and then I come up and meet it, and they just kind of merge together. And I do just a rough template of the eyeliner, and then I can fill it in. And I love, that's why I like the tip. It's tiny and mighty too. And then I can look at them and see what needs to be added. And then I can come up just a little bit more over here, and you just work together. This probably takes the longest, whether you're talking or not. Now this one needs to come up. See how it works? This one needs to come up just a skosh. And that's it. And then we can add our mascara. I'm using Babe Lash. Okay, which ring? I love these little rings. They're fun. My little pinky, I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with jewelry lately, and it's just been fun. All right, so this is the Babe Lash. I got it with the eyelash serum. They have a great brow serum. Xanadu is such a beauty. I like it more than Bella because I don't like illuminators, but it has just enough to do what I like without jumping over and going too far. Okay. Oh, I got this on Etsy, and it's my birthday's in November, and it's the November flower. And so you can pick your flower, and my son's birthday's in November too. And so you can pick your flower on like your grandkids or whatever. I can get a link for it if you want and send it to you on Instagram. But it's such a fun little ring, and you can pick whatever flower you want for whatever reason. But yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna wiggle this at the base of the root, and I'm gonna work it over. I'm gonna go grab my eyeliner real quick because I wanna do my inner lid. Keeping the eye open, if you have hooded eyes, mature eyes, and you're trying to keep your eyes looking more open, and I like to add length and lift to my eye, and by going all the way across, I can close the eye and shorten it. So I'm gonna take this Stila. Okay, we're gonna zoom in again. I'm gonna kind of show you where I place it. But I just go right here. I just extend that, I go to where my last lash is, and then I just follow it and just color in a little line right there. I mean, you barely see it, but it adds a touch of definition. This brush is just, the pen on this is so good. This will tickle, but you'll get used to it. Oh God. You should look hot. Okay. Illuminators aren't for everyone. I completely agree. I liked illuminators when I was using more of a matte makeup. I don't like matte makeup. I don't like matte set makeup because my skin's mature and it accentuates my pores, and then I crack right here really bad. And so mattifying makeup just doesn't work for my skin for the look I like out of my makeup. But I would add illuminators to put that dew back on. All right, so I'm going back on with the second coat and just building on the tips of my lashes. Then I'll come over here and I just wiggle at the root and pull. I like to add volume to my lashes by wiggling and filling between the lashes at the base of my lashes. This is going to give you the look of volume by just building on top and then pulling, so then they don't turn into tarantula legs. It won't look fuzzy and gunky if you wiggle all that mascara in and then pull it up your lash line, and you're able to add volume at the base of the lash. And then you're going to let it just get a little tacky, and then you could build length. So while this gets a bit tacky, I'm going to add a little to my lower lash line, a little to my lower lash line. There we go. I love that this tip has a bit of a domey spiky in because you can get into some nitty gritty places. And then we're just gonna add a little more, and then I flick this across the tip and I can add some length. Mascara can change everything. It really, really can. I am gonna go in, I'm gonna go into my palette. This is the palette I took. It's not gonna be the palette I'm using today because, man, I skipped my correctors on my trip because I just wanted to take a little palette, and I was like, I'll just use my contour. I missed my correctors for sure. I'm gonna take the etch brush and I'm gonna go into my main highlight right now, which I actually think I need to go down on, but I have Hazel here, And I am going to waterline with it. We're just going to tap this across. It's not going to make your eyes burn or water if it doesn't do it to your face. A lot of people like to get those nude pens. Save the money, use your highlight. That's why I like creams. They're really versatile in a lot of different ways. And I like doing this with a color that's closest to my skin tone rather than something light and bright or just plain old white. I am going to take this is the etch brush. It has a nice little shader end and then this really fine but wide squared end. I'm going to clean up right here with that main highlight and just tidy up on this outer corner with it. I'm doing the same thing over here, just following that wing and just cleaning up the outside from fallout and whatnot. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, I'm gonna flip to this little edge here that has a nice, more of a blendy, smoky. I love this for smoking things out. We're gonna go into Fin. It's a dark shimmer. You can see those shimmers. And then I'm gonna just press this on the mid of my lash line under those lashes. And this is gonna give me that smoky eye, but I'm not gonna go all the way to the corners on the inner or outer corner. I have a little mascara right there. You could, by leaving this area open, it's gonna give me that length and width. And once we put all the makeup on, it all comes together. I don't watch a lot of her, and I don't know why. But I also am not on Instagram a ton. I'm gonna take my mango out. I wonder if I have Athens. Let's see. I think I'm getting a little, there we go. I'm gonna pop Athens in, and then I'm gonna get into my palette 8. There's two palettes I love. There's a palette 8, which is a double decker and it holds 4, and then you can also mix in some eyeshadows. And then there's a palette 12. These are great starter palettes. Me and Brittany should do a Q&A. That would be fun. I don't know. I just got done talking to Brittany this morning. She and I talk every morning on her way to work. It's fun. All right, I'm going to take Hazel because I'm starting to lose my color. And I'm going to mix Hazel and Athens together. I've got my white peach here. I'm going to pop that in. It's so nice to just get my correctors back. She is on YouTube. Of course, she's on YouTube because I told her to get on YouTube. She and I are extremely close. I'm using Cedar Contour and Xanadu, but I'm kind of thinking if I'm going to do this technique, I feel like I should be using Bella. Maybe I'll grab that. Let's see. I'm going to grab Honey because it's 10% off this month. And if anybody here is a Saint customer, is with me or anybody, and you have a loyalty link, y'all need to be closing those this week if you haven't yet. What's in here? That. I'm going to put Honey on the top layer of this, and then I'm going to grab Bella. Do I have a Bella right here? Nope, that's Indigo. I'm going to go grab a Bella bronzer. Oh, for goodness sake. You would think I'd have my life together. There's so many palettes all over it. My desk is a disaster. If I were Bella, where the heck would I be? If I were Bella, I would be right here. Okay, I'm going to put this in, and I'm ready to go. Sorry about that. You're just learning how to do your makeup now. You're in the right place. I have a lot of videos on that. So let's talk about the face. We're going to stop on the eyes. I'm going to do the brows last like I always do. Let's talk about the face. So I've got stuff. We're going to do an underpainting here. Ooh, Alabama. Bama. I love Alabama girls. They're so fun. Okay, I've got stuff. And so I talk about my stuff all the time. Loyalty links are not for the people. I use a loyalty link. Yes, I'm from California. Hello. Loyalty links are for customers too, but they're going away. So they eliminated us being able to make loyalty links in August. So no, September. Sorry, they were good up through August. So in September, we were no longer able to make loyalty links for ourselves or anybody else. And it's basically a party link, but used without a party. because not everybody likes to have parties. Okay. Ooh, my earrings. These are Hey June. They're fun. They're little huggies. They have these 90s hoops. I'm eyeballing those. They have a lot of really good little earrings. Okay, so when I get into my makeup, my stuff is one of those things that I always wanted to be able to get rid of, but now I finally love that I have stuff because I'm able to share on how I cover it. So I used to suffer from cystic acne, from not taking care of my skin, using the wrong makeup products, and being a face toucher. Okay. Face touching is a hard habit to break. Okay, we're gonna get into it. The first thing you need is a good primer. Sate is coming out with 2 new setting powders. Yes, you need to close it. If you don't close your party by the end of this month, you will lose all your credits. Use it for all the big things. All right, I use Milk Hydro Grip. I'm on my 2nd bottle and I'm almost done. These will last you for such a long time because you only need this much. It's just a tiny little, not even a pea size. So we're just gonna put this on. I always tap this onto my cheeks first and my chin. I put it on the areas where I need my makeup to really stay. Where did you buy your earrings from? Because they are cool. Hey June, like the song. I guess that's Jude, but June, like the month. Hey, like hey, June. They have a really great Instagram account. And yeah, just Hey June. They do a lot of huggy earrings. They're really cute. They have a lot of options. Go look at the 90s hoops. Those look good. I'm getting those at some point one day. Christmas. Santa Claus. Okay. So I put this on. It's really good for oily skin. I have oily skin. You can wear cream makeup on oily skin. You can. All right, I go in with my under eyes because they are maturing. I do have stuff under these eyes. Okay, there's creasing, there's darkness. Yes. How do you know if you have a party? So you're going to log into your account, and in the upper right, you'll see a little human. And that little human, you click on that, and a menu will pop down, and it'll say parties. Click on parties, and if a box pops up, you have a party, and it'll tell you if you have any credits and any items 50% off. So that's where you'll see it. Okay, I'm going to go in to the balm. This balm is the balm. This helps clean up some of the fallout that I have, and it's also going to help with texture. This is a soft tissue area, and it can easily be texturized using wrong colors, wrong products. Adding the balm, I've used it with Tarte Shape Tape. You can pair it with concealer if you prefer. There's some people who prefer sticking with their concealers, but I press this up into my inner corner and then I spread this out. And again, it helps clean up fallout, but this is going to be a great base for correcting my under eyes. I don't use Demi. Saint does have a Demi line that is really great for correcting things. I prefer using a lip and cheek. It's $16 rather than $2, and it does more than one thing. So this is going to be the color. It's a peachy tone. It's not for everybody. I do custom match correctors. Sometimes I'll tell you saffron. It really just depends on your skin tone and the discoloration. But I prefer having things in my palette that do more than one thing. Good morning. And I'm going to tap into Frenchie, put this on my finger. I'm going to start here and I'm going to press it up to that inner corner and out. And it just eliminated that darkness and it adds a touch of pink. But adding that balm is not adding a heavy makeup texture, if that makes sense. So we're tapping in again. We're going to come in. We have this darkness here. I'm going to press this up and out. Saint makeup is 80% pigmentation on everything. So all your lip and cheeks and your bronzers, I love this color. It's a D&D 891. It is part of their sheer collection. Anyway, Frenchie, I used Madrid this weekend as my corrector too. Boy, I forgot to pack my balm. I missed that, but I used Madrid under my eyes and it worked great. But it does give a very natural finish when you add your concealer over top, having that little pink tone underneath. People do it with blush all the time. I see it happen. Anyway, so we put that on, press this out, and it's also gonna work because all my scarring here pulls through with my blushes, and adding Frenchie to this area of my cheek, because as you mature, you lose the volume and you don't have that cute little apple anymore. So when I smile, I put my Frenchie on this area here. You'll see me do it. And it helps camouflage and cover my scarring even more. and it becomes part of my makeup, not another layer. It doesn't look like, it looks more of part of the makeup rather than a layer of makeup, if that makes sense. And it's a great lip color paired with different things. Okay, next I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do my correctors. This is, and then I will be doing the bronzer Underpainting. We don't need to be all up in my face the whole time, but I'm gonna go in with the blend brush. I like the blend brush. And I'm gonna go in on the small end into Aspen. Aspen is a dense contour color that's gray and light. And I'm gonna go over my scarring here. It's gonna help with my broken capillaries around my nose. I get a little red here. And then I have a touch of redness. I don't even think I'm gonna mess with it, but we take that gray tone. This isn't a science thingy. I just thought gray might dull my face where it's red. I tried it, I liked it, but it's dense. And that also helps hold my makeup in place so I get longevity out of it. And using creams is nice because when I smile, my makeup would crack right here. It would gather, I'd crack here. I don't have the things that freeze anything. And so my movement of my face plays into my makeup, but not against my makeup. And so it's not gonna crack. And so we just sweep this over the red. We're still gonna see the issues. This isn't coverage, this is muting. And I just swirl this into my broken capillaries and the redness, and it dulls it. You still see the spots, so grabbing a little bit, and then we're gonna take that pink and we're gonna dull it. You'll still see the problems, but we're dulling the redness. This works well also with rosacea, just depending on the tone of your rosacea. Some people run deep, and this won't work. If you have deep red rosacea, almost purple, then I would suggest trying using a highlight color June. It has a green undertone to it, because sometimes with that deep purple, it can make it look like a bruise. So Frenchie isn't for you. It can also texturize you because Aspen's just not good for the deep purple. That's all. So just don't, but go try June highlight because it has the green undertones, and do it the same way where it's just a light coverage to mute. It's a great option. Grabbing some more Aspen, and I'm just going over my chin to mute the red. Take some of this pink out. But if you have a light, more reddish pink rosacea, Aspen will work really good. The next color I'm going to dip into is the next one over. It's more brown than gray. And this is actually a lip liner. This is suede. It's also dense. And I use them for the same reasons. The density is going to hold my makeup on top of them, so I get longevity over my coverage. And I'm going to go around this hyperpigmentation that came with my second pregnancy. I have hyperpigmentation coming in right here as well, and then it just kind of is creeping up like ivy. And so what I'm doing here is I'm more camouflaging, sweeping it around and bringing it up. You're still going to see the issue, but it's going to help hold your coverage on top, and it's a similar tone is why I pick it. So density and similar tone. Stone is another really good one if you have a little bit more of a tan with your hyperpigmentation. Stone contour is dense because it's a contour. Highlights are meant to be blended out. Contours are meant to be blended in place. And so using that density to your advantage, so stone is another really good option. But I have a hyperpigmentation spot here, and I'm doing the same thing, just camouflaging it. And then for balance, I don't have as much hyperpigmentation coming up, but I do this for balance. You want the sides of your faces to match, right? Right, unless you're doing it on purpose differently. Anyway, we're just camouflaging and bringing it up. I'm just putting it in a general area. I'm really not focusing too terribly much on if I go too low, too high, it doesn't matter. All right, that's it for my correctors. So we're gonna try this method. Now this could work, it could not work, it could pull my stuff through. I'm gonna be really careful with where I apply it, but we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna blend them together because that's Xanadu. I'm gonna try, I haven't seen the video, so stay with me here. I'm just kind of doing this the way that I do them. We're gonna go into, I'm gonna separate them, boom, that's nice. Okay, so I've got Bella Bronzer and Honey, and I'm using Honey because it's Honey Month, and for the next week-ish, a little more, it's 10% off. don't know if you're local to me. I'm in Oregon, so I don't know if I can, but you can certainly watch videos and absolutely use these techniques for your makeup. I love how natural creams look. So, Dean, if you're in Oregon, let me know. If you're not, I have lots of videos on like getting into makeup and the beginning steps. It's easy, it's fun. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the fluffy end of the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm gonna just really kind of load this up. Really kind of load this up, and you can see it's getting on there. It's coming onto my little palette here. These palettes are so easy to clean. Don't get them wet. Just spray a microfiber cloth with whatever and go in. Okay, so we're just gonna load this in, and I'm gonna start up here, and I'm just gonna sweep Bella Bronzer around the perimeter of my face. I'm going right here, I'm bringing this down, I'm bringing this over, and you can see it's kind of adding some color, and then I'm gonna go down the mid of my face. I'm leaving this area alone. We want our under eyes bright, so why darken them anymore? But I'm just gonna go around the perimeter of my face with Bella Bronzer to give this a whirl. This is fun. And then I'm gonna grab some more. Gosh, my hair's a mess. It's been a long weekend. It's been a long weekend. I went into a bar where I got my hand stamped, and I haven't done that in a very long time. It was wild. I looked extremely out of place. I went with my cousins who are quite a bit younger than me, and I stood out like a sore thumb. I'm bringing this down my neck. That's a bit much. And then I'm going to continue this up. So we're just doing this underpainting. It's a good thing I got my hazel. But this is what's nice. So Saint makeup, if you don't want to do crazy done up, if you don't want to look crazy done up, Saint's a good option because it's 80% pigmentation. If you get into traditional foundations, it's 20%. I say this all the time. Traditional makeup, even full coverage foundation, is 20% pigmentation. Saint, it's my dog, sorry. Saint is 80% pigmentation. That's a big difference. So you can put makeup on and get coverage you want, but it's not as heavy. And that's a really nice look because sometimes makeup can make your skin look more mature than it is because you're needing to pile on more because you need to make up that pigmentation. Say if you're used to having a full coverage, you may over apply. That's okay. I look like a birthday cake for like a week. Okay, so I'm just popping this on, and it's a really thin amount. I'm using a light brush. I don't have makeup texture. Okay, there's no makeup texture so far. All right, you with me? Now I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to go into honey, and this is a gold illuminator. I prefer applying illuminators this way because I'm oily, and illuminators can jump me to greasy really fast. Okay, and I'm going to put this in my highlight zones that I consider my highlight zones. So up here, I'm going to put some on there, put some on here. I'm putting it on thick. Okay, and then I'm going to tap this. Anytime I'm playing with my cheek areas because of my correctors, I tap it on. And then I'm just going to bridge it around. So I got that going. Tap-a-roo. Bring it up. Tap-a-roo. So far, I think I'm doing okay. We're going to hit it. We're going to hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. All right, I'm going to go right here. This is a pretty area. Highlight that stuff. I watched The Nutcracker. It was a movie. Was it The Nutcracker? Or was it an Alice in Wonderland? And there was a Nutcracker soldier. And I love, he had this beautiful gold highlight right. Oh, it was so pretty. It was so pretty. Okay, I always think about that when I do that. And then we're going to hit right here also. And I think that's it. Right, why not right there? Okay, we'll just blend that out right now. Okay, now I'm going to go and I'm going to layer my makeup on. So we're going to move on to our face palette. Now, anytime you're getting into cream makeups, especially Saint with the pigmentation, you need to remember foundation, when you're using traditional foundations, we usually put it all over our face and we turn our whole face. And I think that can make us look a little more mature, but you're looking for that coverage. You don't need to do that with Saint. This is very much a little paint by numbers, and it's simple and it's easy and it looks nice on the skin. Hold on, what's that? I'm 43, Jessie. 43. I'm not 25 to 27. Sorry, I'm 43. I have a 23-year-old son. There's that. I just got to see him this weekend too. I'm not lying. Birthday's 1980. But my son, he is 23. His birthday's coming up. He was born, I was 19 for 10 days. And he is 10 days. His birthday and mine is 10 days apart. It's really great. Okay. Hello, little gherkin. Did I say it right? Okay. You know, I'm not going to say I look like, I know I don't look like I'm 15, but thanks. Okay, so we're going to get into the main colors here. And I'm going to show you how your main highlight, your foundation, is meant to just give you some balance. It's supposed to give you balance. And right now my skin is in a good place because I've done some correcting. Because before I had stuff, and we know if you've been on this, you know that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and I'm mixing because I'm losing my summer shade. So that my summer shade was, gosh, a little darker than this guy. And that one doesn't even work for me anymore. So I'm going in between these two colors here. This is Hazel and this is Athens. And I'm gonna use these together to meet in the middle. And not everybody has to do this, but I mean, I got the colors, so I used the colors and that's it. And I'm gonna tap into Hazel, which is the middle darker color, and then I'm gonna go into Athens just to lighten it a bit. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna balance the lower part, the beard of the face. I'm gonna go up right here, and a good color match should look like an eraser. And it should also have a nice creamy finish. I'm going over my scarring here and I'm tapping this on. And I'm building. Don't swipe through your makeup. You're going to pick up too much. You don't need a lot. I'm going to cover right there, cover my scarring, and it gives a nice dewy finish. Pressing in towards the chin. I'm not going all the way across. I'm going to leave this mid alone because I'm going to add a different color there. We don't need to stack a bunch of layers onto our makeup. So again, tapping in. You don't want to have your bristles sticking together. And then Athens. And then I can go in and I'm just gonna sweep this up. Athens is my winter shade. So if you have your summer shade and your winter shade, if you're needing to cash out your credits, go get your winter shade, keep it with it, but you can use them together. They don't have to be, no, that's my fall shade, I can't touch it. Yes, you can. You can morph it with it while you bridge into your winter shade. And so we're able to just balance the skin here, taking that uneven skin tone, and we're just supposed to balance it. My eyeliner, it's the pen. It's the pen, and it is at the beginning of the video. You can afterwards go back and just watch that part, but this is Stila. Don't get this magic wand. I have a link for it in my description. Stila Stay All Day. The tip of this makes it so easy. So easy. That's how. But I'm barring here and going into the crease of my nose and then around my mouth. Right, like this. And then your face stops here, your makeup doesn't. You want to bring that down or you're going to end up with an orange line. Your neck is always a different color. Queen, you have a shout out. Hello. Honestly, I'm 43, but nobody wants to look 43. I mean, getting older is a luxury. Getting older is a luxury. And that doesn't mean you have to fall into what you think a 43-year-old or a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old or a 25-year-old should look like. But if you want to feel good in your skin, do the skincare. Take the time, do the skincare, and find the makeup that works with your skin. That's honestly what it comes down to. And when you walk out of your house and you feel good, it makes your makeup look better. The best thing you could wear with your makeup is confidence. Okay. So I've placed this on. I'm done with my main highlight. All I wanted to do was balance this little area out. And if you don't have scarring like I do, you don't need to bring it up that high. And I bring it around. I'm going to go into this next shade down here. So I mix these, my winter shade, my summer shade. This right here is White Peach. This is going to be my brightening highlight. So it is a touch lighter than my skin tone. Light reflects off our face, and that's all we're trying to do is mimic that look. So you can see the light flickering off my face. I'm going to go into my White Peach here. Same brush. I'm going to put a dot right down here. I need a little more. Dot right here. And you're just going to press that out just a little bit. Underblend this right here. But you want that brightness. It just adds an accent. Your makeup should work together. And that's it. It should just work together. No other rule. Make sure your makeup works together. All right, we're going into White Peach again, and I'm gonna go right over that honey and right here and here. Okay, we're adding that brightening, and what's left on my brush, I'll just add more here. And I'm just fanning this out up just over my brows. That's why I do them last, because I always screw them up. And I just tap this out and I just blend it. You can see it. That's okay. Don't worry. And I'm gonna put it on my nose, but we're gonna get to that, okay? And we're gonna tap this out, and it's gonna blend in to my main highlight. This is called 3D makeup. 3D makeup because our face is three-dimensional. When you are doing your light brightening, then you blend that out to your bronzer, right? It's about just blending it out. Don't worry about where it touches because we're gonna contour next. You'll see, but I just blend it out, and then we can do a final marrying at the end. But if you want it to pop, don't go too light. You gotta be really careful with the color. If you add my cream, would it make your face look a lot, what? Oh, you're okay. Hold on, sorry. I read a comment before reading a comment. Okay, anyways, so we're gonna leave it now. I just went down the middle of my face with my brightening highlight, and that's it. Okay, next we're gonna go into the next layer, which is where my contour is. I'm not gonna play with Xanadu. This is Cedar. I really like Cedar because it's cool toned, like a shadow, which is what a contour is meant to do. It's meant to accentuate our shadows. I don't know why the lighting is so wonky over on this side of my face, but it is. I don't know. I need to get new, I'm working on new lights, but we're gonna go into the contour. I like it because it's cool toned, but it also matches pretty decently with my hyperpigmentation. I'm gonna go in and I'm stamping it on. Even though it's dense, you still stamp it on. Your bristles should not stick together, but you can see where it is. And I'm gonna go right along the hairline. Let's see if I'm good over it. Let's add a little more. We're gonna go along the hairline, and I'm just gonna put the marks on so you can see where this goes. Okay, so this is your forehead contour. Our forehead has dimension, and it's usually on the outsides right here. We're gonna add it again, and this is gonna look like I'm gonna look crazy. It's gonna work out and look very subtle, trust me. But this is foundation. That's where I say everything is 80% pigmentation, everything is foundation. So this is coverage and contour. We're gonna go above the natural shadowing that we see here. We're gonna go above, just put it on like a blush. Under blend it. You want a big old dirty spot on your cheek right here. Okay, that's it. Grab some more, add a dirty spot on your cheekbone. And I curve mine up because I want lift. I want it to look younger, so I want it to look lifted. Everything starts falling when we start getting older. And then I'm gonna grab a little more, and we're gonna go in front of our earlobe and pulling this down. This is gonna add a little lift here. Okay. Your powder went out this morning. Oh, power. Oh my God, in the dark. It didn't work, so I know that happens. Okay, I'm gonna use my finger on my nose. I have a bump on my nose, so I'm very particular about it, but you could also apply all these colors with your finger like this. So I have it on my nose, on my finger, and I'm gonna put it on my nose. I'm gonna start at the crook right here, where it goes from my brow to my nose, okay? And we're going to come down the nose, over correcting, and just drawing a straight line down the nose. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna look weird. It's gonna be fine. And then we're gonna come over here on this same crook, and we're just gonna follow where that starts, and that's your start of your straight line, okay? There we go. Just grabbing it, and so when you go into your little notch right here, that's where the start of the straight line is. If they touch, that's okay. Don't worry, okay? Boom. Just going up. Just going up, okay? We're gonna take our brush. I'm using the same brush. I'm just using the powder brush. Whatever brush you use that you're the most comfortable with, do. And lately this has been my favorite brush. I'm just gonna fluff this into my brows. Again, why I do my brows last. And I'm gonna tap down and I bridge it over because I have that bump and I wanna camouflage it. If you have a crooked nose, a bumpy nose, an imperfect nose to you, according to you, nobody else, just blend them together. It's okay. You don't need to, have you seen those videos where somebody just draws their entire nose like crazy brown? This is not necessary. That is not necessary. All right, We're going down. I'm going to use my finger again. We're going to go into that light color. I'm going to use my pinky because it's little. And I'm going to go at the top and I'm going to just draw down the middle. That's going to straighten it out, and then I just tap her out. Just tapping her out. There we go. My nose is done. My nose is done. Okay. When you're working with contours, they're all where they need to be. The nose is finished, but I have these dark spots. We're going to take that brush, and I'm just going to bridge them together. And I just do a small flicking, stippling method here, motion. And I go towards my hairline and down. Do you see how it just kind of comes together? Go down the temple into this, and I'm just going to tap this out a little bit. I like to have my cheeks under blended because I want to see it. Same thing here, just tapping it out. I go in a big circle down to my outer brow. And then here, because we did the pre-bronze. All that really did, I think, was make it possible for me to use a darker highlight color. That's it. Okay, let's go into what color next. We're gonna go into our blush. I always do my under eyes last. Ooh, let's contour our lip. I'm gonna go to the pointier end of my brush here because all the brushes are double-ended. We're going into that cedar, and I'm gonna add a soul patch. And then I'm gonna go over top and just hit that Cupid's bow. And doing this gives a shadow. And even though you don't get a shadow on your upper lip, it's gonna look like my lip has a bit of a curl. Then we're gonna go into that brightening color, and we're gonna add some brightening here and here. Thought I heard my door. My husband could come home. I always get really uncomfortable doing lives when he's home. But I'm just gonna add that brightening around, and this is gonna give my lips a little definition and a bit of a look of a curl. This is gonna work out when I do my lips. For my blush, I'm gonna use that Frenchy color I used under my eyes right here. I'm gonna smile so you can see exactly where the apples are. I'm gonna go over my scarring. This is a really, to some people, a dull blush. This is an addition to your collection color. This is something that's great for correcting your under eyes and then covering acne that you don't want your blush to pull through. All right. The color I was using for the Pick My Look that I did on Facebook that I'm doing today with my eyeshadow is a gloss. I don't use glosses on my cheeks, but it is fall. So I'm going to go into my favorite fall blush, which is Rosewood. And I'm going to stamp this with my finger up my cheek on this side, and then I'll show you how I can apply it with the brush over here. And it's just staying at the high point of that cheekbone, going around. You could go up because we haven't done our under eyes, and then lightly going over that Frenchy just to bridge it down and hybrid it together. Look at how pretty that is, right? I stamped it over here, same thing. Just bring that up the temple a little bit for a natural flush look onto that Frenchy here. But using that Frenchy over my scarring as part of my blush is super helpful so my scars don't show. I don't like my scars to show. That's how I like my makeup to be worn. And that's why I don't do a lot of light coverage tinted moisturizer videos, is because I don't feel like I'm showing you my makeup in its best form because it's not the way my finished look like. Does that make sense? If you're looking for somebody who does light coverage, it's just not me. I want to love it. I want to be able to do it. I can't. Okay, we're going to go back to the blend brush. I use this for the correcting. And this is what I use under my eyes because it's a light coverage brush. We're going to go into that brightening highlight, and we're going to tap some on. And I always smile. And this is I call it my happy bucket. It's that little shine on your cheek. That's a natural shine, and we're going to pop it right there. And it's our guide. And then I'm going to bring that up and into that inner corner to cover the darkness. Just like that. Up and then down into the happy bucket. And that's it. And then over here, I'm going to give my eye a little lift by adding a little flick to the brightening. And then that orbital bone, bringing it down. The last place I'm going to blend this is my soft tissue. But if you like there we go. Sorry. I bet somebody's trying to call me. Somebody always does that. And I have it on Do Not Disturb, but it messes with my Zoom. Okay, tell me if I'm back. Tell me if I'm back. Tell me if you see me. Tell me if I'm too zoomed in. We always have to reset when this happens. Oh, but yeah, okay. Tapping into the brightening, and I'm gonna do the same thing, but remember, I'm back. Am I too zoomed in? Sometimes it's like my nose and my mouth. It's bad because I want to be in a good place. Is this too zoomed in? Sorry. I hate when that happens. Oh, hopefully they'll leave a voicemail. Whoever it was. A little. There. Okay, so I'm going to take that brightening again. I'm going to go into that happy bucket and we go up and into that inner corner. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Thank you. Okay, we're grabbing in to that brightening and we're going to go right, thank you. We're going to go right over here, cleaning up, adding lift, and we're coming down that orbital bone. The orbital bone will hold your, I always call this more like a hammock. You've got two ties on a hammock and then that loosey-goosey in the middle. And so you have your skin holding on taut on the orbital bone and then on your eyeball. And then this part right here is just loosey-goosey. And that's why it can be, that's why you get your fine lines there. That's why you can add texture there. It gets crepey there. And so we're just tapping this around. And then we can bring it up to that soft tissue right here. Okay, doing the same thing, bringing that right here down and then bringing your inner corner up and going into that soft tissue. Take that fluffy end and you can just marry it together to the nose and with the cheeks. Easy peasy. It looks super crazy, but you can get just a nice, I find this to be a nice finished look. Then I'm going to set it and then we can pop on some brows and pop on some lips and then we are done. My lives on Monday, full disclosure, I'd love for you to subscribe. My Monday lives are long, but I always do shorter form videos where I break down the face. I do just eyes, just brows, just eyes, eyeliner, just face. Sometimes I will come on and have half my face on. Short form videos come out throughout the week. And my Mondays are always long and more informative because I'm able to talk and chat. I'm using the Professionals by Benefit. Saints is great, but if you have oily or combination skin, it's just a little too hydrating and can go greasy. And so I recommend it for people with dry skin or balanced skin. But if you have combination to oily skin, I have an empty. I use the heck out of it. Is Charlotte Tilbury, Urban Decay De-Slick. And then also Benefit Professional Super Setter is a really good one. This one has a very good fine mist. You spray, I should not have breathed in when I did that. Spray your face, and while it's still damp, you can grab the palette. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I can't zoom out anymore. Okay, we're going to take this palette. It just has 2 setting powders in it. You can get one and just put it in your palette. I use the heck out of it, so I keep it in its own palette. That way I can just throw it in my purse if I need to. Tap it out, and we go on the outside in. Outside in. Because you don't want to take a powder and you don't want to apply it directly under your eyes or to the middle because then you will get powder texture. It's always going to thicken it. Saint does have a new setting powder coming out. I'm really excited to try the 2 new setting sprays. One has hyaluronic acid in it, and the other one has, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Niacinamide in it. And so they both do something different, and they're great. They are meant for prep and set. So it does 2 things, which isn't one of my favorite things. Okay, we're going to pop on some brows. I like a structured brow, so I'm going to do a structured brow. I have a parent meeting today, so I'm putting my best foot forward with my makeup. I use the line brush. Very good. I'm going to take my spoolie and comb my brows out. I have been an over plucker, and so my eyebrows are very thin on the outside and short, and I like to add, again, like I said at the beginning, if you were here, I like to add width and lift to my eyes, and I use my brows to do that. Your brows shape your face. Okay, we're gonna take, I use eyeshadow. This is Trust, this is Oak. I go between the 2 depending on the day. And then this is Brow Wax. It's activated by water or setting spray, whatever you want. I'm gonna use a little angle brush. I'm gonna go into Trust. I start on my bottom corner, and then I'm gonna draw a hard line from that inner corner up and out. I'm following my natural brow shape. Follow it up over. My brow ends here. But because I want to add lift, I'm going to bring it way out. I draw my brows far out. I'm going to go 1/4 of the way in on the top, and I'm going to go follow my arch up, out. The mascara I use what was it? Babe Lash. They have a brow serum if you're trying to grow out your brows. And so I bring it up to that arch and then I meet that tail. Then I can grab a little bit of oak if I want to. I'm gonna go to this front corner. I come a couple millimeters extra in from my inner corner. All right, and we're gonna flick this up. We're gonna add that little thingamabob, okay? And then we just start blending. You can add your hair flicks here in the front. Boom, boom, boom. And then we start blending that top line down and that bottom line up to fill in the brows. I like filling in with oak. It's just a little bit lighter. I don't want a big dark block. And that's it. I'm going to take a setting spray. I use Saints on this one just because I have it. But if I don't, I just use whatever I have on hand. Again, water works. Okay, we just have a little bit in there. We're going to swirl that spoolie. And then I'm just going to comb it up. This is going to do two things. It's going to pick up excess product, but it's also going to help shape the hairs and put them where you want so you don't end up with a wizard hair. Okay, I'm going to go in again and start on that bottom corner. And when you find the shape, go get those stencils off of Amazon for brow shapes and try different brow shapes. And when you find the one you like, practice, 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 and your brows will go on crazy fast. It doesn't have to be, I talk a lot. I don't know if you've gathered that for the hour we've been here, but I talk a lot. And then the more you practice, the faster you get, and those brows just fly right on. There's a few things that take me a really long time. One's my eyeshadow, my nose contour, and my brows. Grabbing some more of that wax and just combing them up and over and down. Brows! Okay, we added that lip contour. Now I'm going to add my lip color. I'm going to be using the color picked for me, which is Wallflower. Is it? Yes, it's Wallflower, and it's this color here. It is a semi-gloss. You can see by the sheen. So this is what a satin looks like. This is a gloss, and this is a semi-gloss. It's just different levels of whatnot. I'm going to line my lips with Suede, which is my color corrector. I'm going to use a multitasker brush right here. I'm going to empty some of my previous lip color off of it, just with the microfiber here. There we go. And we're going to go into Suede lip liner. I like using the big end. The multitasker has this wide end and a pointy end. I prefer the wide end. And I'm just going to line my lips messily. I don't want a big, hard, dark lip line. Okay? And I'm just going to line my lips a little. This adds a nice barrier because, again, I don't do the freezers, the fillers, the things, and I have natural straw lines. And it just creates a barrier so it doesn't bleed out. Lip colors can bleed out. It's something I saw as a child on my grandma. She was a smoker, and her lips used to always have her lipstick bleed out. So I add a lip liner for definition, but also to not let my lipstick bleed onto my face. Okay, so just line your lips. It's a nice natural brown. So pretty. And then we're going to go into Wallflower. We're just going to pick some up with that same brush. I find the semi-glosses to be a little harder to pick up. That's okay. We're just swirl, whirl, whirl in it. We're picking it up. And then I'm going to just apply it on my lip. Okay, grabbing some more. Popping that on the top lip. It's a pretty natural pink. Okay, from San Diego. Have a good sunny day in San Diego. But this is just a really nice natural tone. If you like a natural lip, that's that. I'm going to take Diamonds Are Forever. Tom Ford has this. It's $45. So I always, okay, fun fact, Ricardo. I went to the Air Academy and I really wanted to be a flight attendant for Southwest Airlines. Like I was so wanting, I got pregnant and I couldn't, so it's fine. But I wanted to be a Southwest Airlines flight attendant so bad. Every time I fly, I'm like, do you need help with the cart? I never got to be a flight attendant, but if I could just be one for like an hour, I'd die happy. Always wanted to be a flight attendant. It was like, we flew growing up and I just, it just scooped the ice, opened the, it just seemed like such a fun job. Anyways, Diamonds Are Forever, $25 rather than $45. It has some sparkle and shimmer to it, and it's so, so pretty. And I just pop this on just like that. And it just adds a touch of shimmer. It's not gritty. It has sparkles on it. I don't feel the grittiness. I think if I'm trying to, I guess I do. But no. If you like chapstick, you'll like it. I love it on its own too. It adds this really pretty frostiness to your lips. I take it to dinner, and then after dinner, I'll just pop it on, and it's a pretty tube. Okay, that's my makeup. I think the underpainting, okay, my opinion. You wanted my opinion. My opinion on the underpainting of the bronzer, I like having that touch of shimmer. I mean, my makeup, I like that touch of shimmer that's under my makeup more than on top of my makeup. And I don't really notice, I think, again, my opinion, I don't think it's necessary to do the pre-bronze. I think it turned out pretty, and I don't feel like I look too crazy overdone. Makeup will always look like makeup if you know, and so don't be surprised when it looks like makeup. If you're somebody who wants to cover things but not look like you're wearing makeup, the Demi line is a really great corrector spot treatment where you can look like you're wearing no makeup and you're covering the things you want. But putting on a full face of makeup and doing it on a more it'll still look like makeup. It's just not wild and crazy. But I think I could have skipped the pre-bronze. I do think so. I love the finish and it's pretty. I just don't think it impacted my look too much. I like just touching up with a little bit of bronzer beforehand, but I also think doing the prep of the bronzer and the honey illuminator, you can achieve the same look with Xanadu on top. Okay, I'll notice what I watched the technique. Okay, I will watch it. I will record just a face video with the technique and see what I think. I love doing first impressions on techniques for videos, but it doesn't need to be as long as this is. But that's it. That's my makeup. Every Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, I am here talking, chatting. We just got to get through the weeds of the first, I don't know, 5-10 minutes of weirdos that pop on. That's just how it is now. Sorry, I know. I go through and I just delete them as they pop in. I don't even leave them there. I might get to the point where I do. But I love playing with my makeup on my Mondays. Trolls are trolls. It's whatever. It's more them than me. I don't care. I don't think they're here because of me. I think they're just here because they need something to do. But is this? No. Next Monday will be my last Monday as an MLMer. After that, I'm just an affiliate, which changes nothing. But I will be here every Monday, 8 a.m. unless something important, I mean, it's makeup. Makeup's not the most important thing in the world. But I do try to keep my commitments. I'm a commitment person. I'm a commitment person. I'm knocking things off the table. I gotta go. But that's it. Have a great day.